Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Should we start?
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, we can start.
Okay. So in the last class, we were learning about cloud services, cloud components. We had learned that clients or client machines are an important component. Apart from that, security of those client machine is an important aspect in a cloud environment. Okay. Now, apart from client, to access the services or to access the data that is stored on the server, what is essential is some kind of a network that connects the client to the server. Now, generally, this network is any public network, or generally it is the internet. So Gartner had done some research way back in 2000. Gartner is a research firm, and they identified that people access cloud services at their client machines in four different ways, or there are four different levels of networks. One is basic public internet, second one is accelerated internet, third is optimized internet overlay, and fourth is site to site VPN. All these are networks only, or all these are employed to for the client to access the services at the client side. Okay. But all these, their usage could be different, their consumers could be different, the people who subscribe to these different levels of the network, they can be different. So generally, very simple cloud services, maybe for a startup, for a small organization, or for individual machines, is made available or is done through basic public internet. We had learned this yesterday. So in basic public internet, basic internet services are available. So there's not going to be any high speed or data made available, or there's not going to be much of security options that could be there. The general internet services are employed for cloud services to be accessed at the client side. So there are certain advantages, there are certain disadvantages. Basic disadvantage could be that because it is basic, giving you basic services, the response time can be less, especially when high traffic is there. Poor response, in the sense, the when you are trying to access your data from the cloud, it is going to take time. Then there is accelerated internet, where the cloud services are made available to the client machines at high speed. Accelerated means at high speed. Okay. So with that, there's a user experience is going to be very rich. User experience is rich in the sense client machines can access their data very quickly. So they don't have to keep on waiting. Response time is very, very high. All right. And for accelerated internet, different techniques are employed, like optimizing the hypertext transfer protocol, or caching is done. On and often those websites or those web pages which are being accessed again and again, those are kept in the cache itself. SSL is stopped for some time or terminated. SSL will impose restrictions for security of data. So you can, it is possible to terminate that, but then to certain extent you're compromising on security also. And TCP connection management is done, so that the connection establishment and after that data transfer, that is not going to take time. So the third aspect, or the third way of accessing the cloud services, is via optimized internet overlay. Now, I told you yesterday also, whether it is basic public internet, whether it is accelerated internet, or it is optimized internet overlay. Cloud services are going to be accessed over a network, and most of the time it will be a public network, like maybe the internet. So what do you mean by the word optimized internet overlay? The internet services only are going to be there, but those the internet services are going to be optimized at the cloud provider side. That is, for example, suppose you have subscribed to Amazon, or suppose you have subscribed to Microsoft cloud services. It is the duty of the provider, like maybe Amazon or Microsoft, to give you better service. And for that, what they do is they overlay the existing internet. Overlay in the sense, the existing internet, whatever its operation is there, on top of it another layer is created. Now you have to imagine that it's going to be virtual, not physically. You can't open and show a layer. On top of the existing internet, certain techniques are going to be implemented by the cloud service provider. It is not implemented in the internet, I mean by the internet service provider. It is optimized by the cloud service provider. So cloud service provider will create an a layer on top of the existing internet, in order to see to it that enhanced services are provided to the client. I want you all to have a look at this figure, where what you can see down there in this diagram, the end user on one side and SaaS application on other side. In the sense, end user is the client machine and SaaS application is the server side, the cloud provider. Okay, and in between there's a network, that is the internet. We call it as the internet backbone. What is shown there in gray color or in red color dotted line is the existing network, which is generally congested, or maybe lot of traffic is there on the internet. So on top of this, can you see this green color dotted line where cloud is being shown there? Okay, what is it showing? That the cloud provider, like for example IBM, Yahoo, or Microsoft, or Amazon, or Salesforce, all these companies, what they do is they employ their own routers. Maybe they will create a uncongested network, or maybe there can be some monitoring agents in the sense software applications, which will allow the faster transfer of data. Okay, so in this case, you all can see the existing internet is there, which is quite congested, which is shown as red color dotted line. On top of it, something else is being implemented. What is that something else? It is the optimized internet, and that is implemented by the service provider. So what service provider can take up, make it possible to provide faster services to the client, with the help of maybe monitoring agents, with the help of overlay network, and so on. Okay, so there could be different optimization techniques. We want to give best service. The cloud service provider wants to provide best service to the client, isn't it? So there could be certain techniques that can be employed. For example, optimized real-time routing. Now, generally, internet will do the routing, and we have internet protocol, which is generally employed in routing. So apart from that, the service provider will implement certain algorithms so that routing of data and making it available to the client can be done faster. Then second is SSL session can be stopped. This is done in accelerated internet also. If a SSL session is stopped, or it is made to terminate for some time, what SSL will do is it will impose extra restrictions on your network so that it remains secure. So that is going to take up time. So you want to make it fast. That's why you can terminate SSL for some time, and you can speed up the transmission of data. The third thing, even in accelerated internet, it is done, that is caching. So often those frequently used web pages are stored in the cache, and so that every time the user logs in or a user wants to use it, connection need not be all the time set up, and then data need not be brought. It can be maintained in the cache and made it available to the user immediately. Now, what could be the disadvantages of optimized internet overlay? Definitely, your cloud provider is going to take extra effort to provide faster services to you. So it is going to be costlier. And strong vendor lock in. Lock in the sense, once you have subscribed to the service, you have to make use of the same service till the subscription, ends. So your lock-in period is quite high there. You can't go for any other subscriber unless your that many days of subscription is over. So strong vendor locking is there. You become too much dependent on the vendor or the cloud service provider. That could be another disadvantage. Okay, so please try to distinguish between accelerated internet and between optimized internet overlay. In accelerated internet, existing internet service provider like maybe Airtel or BSNL, they make internet available at higher speed. Your cloud service provider is not involved. But with optimized internet overlay, the provider, the company who is giving you cloud services, they will see to it that the existing internet, on top of it, they create another layer, or they try to optimize the transmission of data faster, and speeded up transmission of data happens, which will optimize your network. So this is done by the cloud provider. So understand the difference. In case of accelerated internet, it is done by the internet service provider. In case of optimized internet overlay, it is done by the cloud service provider. Okay. The last way of accessing cloud services on a network is via site-to-site VPN. Now, VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. In the sense, we do make use of internet, but if you have a company which is very very large, which has got one main office or a main branch or a main quarters where your head office is located, and there could be many branches in the same town or city, or maybe in other cities or around the globe. In that case, the internet will be there. Apart from that, a private network will be created via the internet, which is called as virtual private network. So with virtual private network, multiple offices which are located at different geographical locations, they are going to interact with each other through secure connection. So underlying network is internet itself. But since only these branch offices or these corporate offices which are located at different locations, they are interacting with their main office, it is called as a virtual private network. So it's not a private network, it is going to be internet only, but virtually only those offices are going to be connected together. They allow data from the server to be available at the clients present at the branch offices. So the third method of accessing the clouds, fourth method of accessing the cloud services is via VPN, virtual private network. So with virtual private network, it is possible to extend a company's network. Whatever are the resources from one location, they can be available to another other locations. For example, imagine there is a headquarter of a particular software company in Hyderabad, and they have branch offices maybe in Bangalore, maybe in Belgaum, maybe in other places. So the Hyderabad office is going to allow sharing of resources via internet to only these branch offices, maybe in Bangalore, Belgaum, and so on. So we are extending the network, we are extending a company's network to different geographical locations and the branches present there. Okay. Generally, now the site-to-site VPN can be implemented in two ways. One is called as intranet-based VPN, or it can be extranet-based VPN. Intranet means within the organization, but different, within the same organization, but with different geographical locations. And extranet means uh, your company is going to be connected to the network of other companies, maybe your suppliers, the vendors, or customers who are dealing with you. I'll give you one example. Imagine that Tata Steel has got have decided to go for a site to site VPN. Now Tata Steel may have many factories, or may many units in different places. In that case, they may connect the original or the main Tata Steel office to the other offices that are there. So they are creating an intranet VPN. So Tata Steel main office or corporate office to Tata Steel branch offices. That is intranet within the same organization, but in different geographical locations. But suppose Tata Steel is, interacting with Reliance Corporation, or Tata Steel is interacting with some other corporation, corporate company for raw materials and all that. Then what can Tata Steel do? It can not only create an intranet based VPN, it can create an extranet based VPN. So Reliance Industries, they will have their own network, Tata Steel will have their own network, but via cloud computing environment, Tata Steel's network can get connected to the branch offices of Reliance network. So beyond or outside your network connections are going to happen. That is called as extranet based. I hope you people are understanding. Intranet based means within the same organization, but the offices could be located different places, in different places. Extranet means your organization is getting connected to other organizations network, who could be your suppliers, who could be your vendors, who could be people who are providing you raw materials. To their network you are getting connected for day to day transactions and so on. That is called as site to site VPN. Okay. Now, whenever we are talking about cloud computing environment, there are certain terms, certain terminologies we will come across often. So we have to understand them. One important terminology which we come across in cloud computing is cloud provider. Now, what do we mean by the word cloud provider? A company which provides cloud computing services is called as a cloud provider. Who is a cloud provider? A company that provides cloud computing services or cloud based services. That is called as a cloud provider. Example is, say, IBM or Salesforce or Microsoft or Amazon. There are so many companies who give cloud computing services to you. They are called as cloud providers. So there can be small cloud providers, there can be large cloud providers, like very huge companies, corporate offices, corporations who are involved in providing cloud services. So big providers means very large companies, they have thousands of crores of turnover. So if they are very big providers, they can have their own WANs, in the sense their own wide area network, which allows them to provide the services to their client. But if they have their own wide area network, then they require very robust connection. They may not make use of internet, the public internet that is there. They may have their own private WAN. But connection, if at all the provider is big, and their cloud consumers also are more, then they require robust, means very strong connectivity. Generally what they do, such large companies who provide services to other large companies, what they do is they use their own private tunnels. Private tunnels, in the sense they use their own ways of connecting to their client, rather than depending on basic public internet. They can have their own ways to connect to the client. Okay. What happens with private tunnels? Private tunnels, in the sense, maybe a dedicated connection between your consumer and between the cloud provider. So if you have a private tunnel, if you have a private connection that connects the server to the client, then that can provide better bandwidth, better latency, and less loss of data. Bandwidth, in the sense speed of network will be high. Latency, in the sense response time, the time required for the request to be made and data to be made available from the client. A request will go to the server, server will send the data to the client. That is called as latency time or round trip time. Okay. So latency can be better if, the reason I'll tell you, it's a private cloud or it's a private tunnel. So all the efforts, all the resources are dedicated for providing better speed and better data to the client side. That's why, in case of cloud providers, if they are very big players, they prefer their own tunnels. Now, that also ensures that your data remains secure because it is within that private WAN. There can be increase in traffic and that can increase cost, but then if the company is making profits, this is not going to be a big deal. But small cloud providers who are there, they may not have their own WANs and they will face bandwidth related problems, because most of their services will be made available via public internet. So bandwidth issues can be there if they are small cloud providers. Then we have this term which is called as cloud consumers. Companies or individuals or startups or enterprises that subscribe to the cloud services are called as cloud consumers. For example, suppose you are storing your photographs on Microsoft Cloud, then you become a cloud consumer, you as an individual user. Suppose you have a small organization or an enterprise and you are storing your data on Microsoft Cloud. In that case, your company becomes the cloud consumer. So it can be an individual, a group of individuals, an enterprise, or maybe a small corporation which takes or which subscribe to the cloud services. That is called as a cloud consumer. Okay. Now, large companies generally have consumers. They have their own infrastructure. For example, suppose we have a very big company here in Udyambag, which is which is subscribing to cloud services. They can afford their own fiber optic connections. They may have offices, they may have branches, and those branches can be connected via VPN. Okay, they can make use of optimized or accelerated internet connection. But in all these cases, if you want better speed and if you want better access to cloud services, then you should be ready to invest a lot of money at the client side also, or be dependent on whatever the service provider is providing. Okay. Okay, now I want you all to enter your attendance first. Okay. So the next thing or the next term that we must know when we are talking about cloud environment or cloud computing is pipe size. Now, the word pipe here refers to the internet speed or the bandwidth. Pipe size refers to bandwidth. Now, what pipe means here? Whenever you are going to access cloud services on your client machine, you are going to make use of the internet. So, you require internet connectivity. So, you have to imagine from the server, via the internet connection, the services are available at client. So, you do require getting connected to the network. That itself means you can imagine you're accessing your internet via a connection. That connection is referred to as a pipe. Okay. So higher bandwidth definitely means it will provide better speed. Okay. But there are certain things that are beyond and certain factors that are beyond consumers' control. Okay. Like internet bandwidth between organization and the cloud. When you subscribe to a particular internet service provider, whatever service he is giving you, whatever speed he is giving you, you have to be dependent on that. Many a times that bandwidth could be less. Sometimes the traffic is very high. The round trip time becomes an issue. Round trip time means, just now I told you, the time required for for a client to make a request to the server and for the server to respond back. That is called as round trip time. So if round trip time is high, you will take more time. More time would be required for the data to come and reach the destination. Naturally, that means, the if the bandwidth is less, the round trip time is going to be more. Response time is also going to be more. So pipe size, if the bandwidth is higher, all these issues can be resolved. The next term that we should know in cloud computing environment is what is meant by upstream and downstream. Now, upstream means uh, you have to now bring into in front of your eyes two machines, or the client and the server. The client is your organization, your machine, and server is the cloud vendor or the cloud server. Okay. So upstream means when you are sending some data from client to server, that is called as upstream or uploading. Generally, we refer to it as uploading. So that generally is called as upstream. And similarly, when the server responds back, that is, if data is made available back to the client, that is called as downstream. Uh, Okay, I am sorry. There's a lot of disturbance at my place. Okay, there are three classes going on in three different rooms of my house. So let's see. I was telling you about upstream and downstream. Upstream, in the sense, when we try to transfer the data from our machine, that is from client machine to the server machine, that is called as upstream, or uploading from client to server, that is called as upstream. And when the server responds back, that is the data is coming back from the server back to the client, that is called as downstream or downloading. You're going to take the data from the server to the client, that is called as downstream. Okay. Now, whenever we are in cloud environment, whether it is upstream or downstream, cloud connections will be working in one of the two ways. The cloud connections can be symmetric or they can be asymmetric. Symmetric means upstream and downstream both are working at the same speed. Your uploading of data and your downloading of data, that is your requesting of data and response of data from the server, both are happening at the same speed. And asymmetric means upload and download connections are working at different speeds. Now, generally, that is the case if you are making use of basic public internet. When you are using basic public internet, your connections are generally asymmetric. That is, uploading and downloading will not happen at the same speed. Upstream and downstream don't work at the same speed. They are working at different speed. But if you have, a private WAN or a private network, generally it can be symmetric. Both uploading and downloading can work at same speed. So you should know what is meant by upstream and you should know what is meant by downstream. Okay. The next term that is there in internet environment is redundancy. Now, what do you mean by the word redundancy? Redundancy refers to replication of data, especially if your organization is very big, if there is very important data that is there which you are accessing over the cloud. The cloud service provider will create redundancy of your data. Now, can you see this diagram? This is your cloud. There is a server here. Your same data is going to be stored here. It's going to be stored here. It's going to be stored here. Why do we have redundancy of data? To ensure security, to ensure reliability. How do we ensure reliability? By chance, imagine you are a big corporation where all your data is going to be stored, is very, very important for you. By chance, one of the server fails or one of the server crashes. You always have other 2 or 3 servers and connections between them. So there are alternative paths over which the server can be accessed. So this replication of data, when we do, it will ensure reliability. So redundancy of data is generally happening in servers which are located at different geographical locations, and they will allow reliability of data. Even if one of the server crashes, we can still access the data from another copy or from another replicated location, so that all the time the data is available to the client. So this is generally one more thing, one more term that we come across in cloud environment. Okay, so I have told you 3 important terms now. Sorry, four or 5 important terms. One is cloud provider, company which provides cloud services. One more is cloud consumer, company which subscribes to cloud services. Pipe size means bandwidth. If bandwidth is better, cloud services are faster. Then next is upstream and downstream, in the sense the speed at which we are uploading the data and we are downloading the data. Connections in upstream and downstream can be either symmetric or they can be asymmetric. Okay. Then is redundancy, which will ensure reliability. Your server, the data present on the servers are generally replicated in multiple locations, so that even if one of the server fails, we can still access the data from another copy which is stored at some other location. Okay. So I'm going to stop here. If you have any doubts, you can raise your hands and you can ask me. Do you have any doubts in what we learned just now?
I guess there are no doubts, ma'am.
No doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I will be sharing notes of the first unit today. Only thing is, I don't have a typed copy. I have the scanned copy. I have made a PDF of that. The same I'll be sharing with you. And I hope you people can manage. The handwriting is very good. It's very clear, legible. So there should not be a problem. Still, if you people are facing anything, please let me know. I'll be sharing the notes of the first unit shortly with Rishikesh. He will forward it to the group. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.